Us right now is J.D. Hayworth, former congressman, of course, from the great state of Arizona, but more importantly, host of Newsmax Prime, which follows this show every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hello, sir.
Well, hello, Steve. It's good to be with you, sir.
Well, always good to talk to you on Fridays. All right, let's talk about what we saw today with the endorsement. Mike Pence, the governor of Indiana, of course, probably a former colleague of yours in the House, giving a, at best, lukewarm endorsement to Ted Cruz, at the same time praising all three, specifically commending Donald Trump and saying, I'm voting for Ted Cruz. That was the weirdest endorsement I've ever heard.
Now, wait, let's think about politics, Steve. You remember the saying down south, well, some of my friends are for it and some of my friends are against it, so I'm going to side with my friends. and that really is what Mike Pence is facing. He's got a tough campaign this fall. It looks like right now he's running neck and neck with his Democrat challenger in a rematch of what happened 4 years ago. So when you take that into account, it's understandable that on the Republican side of the aisle, he doesn't want to alienate Trump supporters. John Kasich is the next door neighbor, fellow governor, another former House member. And of course, you've got Trump. Donald Trump is a phenomenon. So he's trying to cover all the bases. And in the final analysis, he sticks with Cruz because the social conservatives really are the trademark for Mike Pence, and that's why he's going to stay there but be very diplomatic to Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, then I don't know why he had to quote-unquote endorse anybody. I mean, to me, if I'm getting an endorsement, I don't want in the same sentence that's going to be played, I don't want him specifically commending my opponent. That's just me, I guess.
Yeah, well, Here's the thing about Mike Pence. He's a really good guy, and he wanted to make sure, both politically and I guess we'd say atmospherically, that he gets the endorsement to Cruz for his base. And also, I would say, and I don't know the campaign personnel out in Indiana, but I would imagine the way Cruz has developed a ground game around the country, a lot of the Pence people are with Cruz, but by the same token, he sure doesn't want to alienate the Trump folks there. So that's what he's trying to do. It is basically where Mike Pence is dealing with his own political survival.
What do you got coming up at 8 o'clock?
Well, funny you should mention that, because we're going to talk more about the Pence endorsement and the reasons for it, the way it was, and also last night in Costa Mesa, California, what the politically correct press calls a protest, you and I know better, was a full-scale riot. And we'll talk about who was behind it and the reasons why at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to bring up. Also, very interesting, the Supreme Court denied to block the Texas voter ID law today, which I think is some good news to come out of that court.
Absolutely, it's good news, Steve. You better believe it. And also, North Carolina's voter ID law in an appellate court was upheld. So we are seeing common sense prevail, at least right now, on the bench.
Yep. All right, J.D., always good to talk to you, sir. We'll watch you tonight at 8 p.m. right after this show, as we do every single night, Monday through Friday.
Thanks a bunch, Steve. Have a great weekend.
You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Fiorina choice, which to me was, bizarre and awkward and pompous and just, presumptuous and out of place and unseemly, the way they stood there like they just were nominated. It just was bizarre. Our correspondent Nora DeBroder took to the streets of New York City to ask people what they thought about that and what they think about Carly Fiorina. Do they even know who Carly Fiorina is? Don't go away. It's coming up next.